Gary Roberts, Arm TV. Do you know what this is, Harold? Do you know what's going on today?
This is the California State Championships. This is the, I guess you could kind of call it an anniversary.
Exactly. Today's the anniversary tournament. 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I met Harold Ryden and found arm wrestling.
Here we are. 8 years later. Guess who else started here?
Who? This is your first tournament?
Yeah. First one today.
This is your anniversary tournament?
Yep. 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah, but I met that guy, Mr. Ryden.
I met him here.
Yeah. He likes to prey on newbies.
That's kind of crazy.
What would we do without Harold Ryden?
So you met Harold Ryden at this
I would have a lot
tournament,
less elbow pain, that's for sure. But yeah.
So you found this tournament on the same day?
Yeah.
Our process is probably a little bit different. Tell me, how did you discover it?
Google.
What do you mean?
I just looked at arm wrestling up on the internet and saw that there was...
Why did you Google it?
Because I was beating all my friends, just like everybody else says. And then I got here and got my ass handed to me by Jamie Sheldon.
So you just Googled it, and then what's the first thing that came up?
The first thing that I actually read was this, California State, and I went to it. So I saw Eric Wolf. They were saying he had this shirt on. It was like a peach shirt. It was a button-up shirt, but only one button, like at his belly button, was buttoned. His chest and nipples. It was a nice sight.
Are we talking about Steel Horse back in 2002?
No, 6 years ago when he.
Yeah.
No, they're like, he's a professional.
So he was here.
Professional arm
He was here
wrestler?
6 years ago.
No, Steel Horse, Arizona.
No, we're talking about Victorville
his
6 years
first
ago.
tournament.
Oh, that was your first one here?
Yeah. And you were with some chick. You were with a few different ones.
Over the years.
Each time I saw you for a little bit.
So let me tell my story. 8 years ago, I was here to see my father-in-law, who lives down the road. I was over watching music, and I was sitting there with my daughter. We had our little chair. We had the camper
next to a hot pregnant woman.
So you found arm wrestling here at Victorville?
Yeah. But no. I was here to listen to music.
Bluegrass music.
Well, I was visiting my father. I don't buy bluegrass, but I enjoy it. But my father-in-law was coming here, and he invited my wife, said go up and spend time with my dad. So I was sitting over there, and they were between sets, and they said, hey, be sure to check out, just like this, maybe not word for word, but they said, be sure to check out the arm wrestling at the backstage. It's going on today, right now. And I said, I looked to my father-in-law and I said, arm wrestling? What the heck? So I asked him, my daughter was, so she's 15 today. 8 years ago, she would have been, what, 7? So I said, hey Dom, you mind watching McKenna for a little bit while I go check out this arm wrestling thing? And I reached into my bag and I grabbed my camera and I walked right over here and I was standing right behind the trophies. And one of my first impressions of arm wrestlings ever was I was filming, and then I remember Melanie, your wife, said, you can get closer. I was totally like in the back corner over there. She says, you can get closer, it's fine, no one's gonna bite you. And I was like, sure. And so I went up, and I remember this is my very first impression of arm wrestling ever. They called up this guy, and my impression, Joe Stevenson. No, you first. My impression was that this scrawny dude is gonna get his ass handed to him. And then they called up this guy, and they said his background was MMA, and they said fighter, and he kind of had some bulging muscles. And I made a judgment right then and there. I said, the skinny dude's gonna get whacked. So, what happens next? Harold Ryden. Like that, and I went, whoa, that was cool. So I filmed it. I didn't even film, I probably missed half the event that day. So I was towards the semifinals. I filmed the rest of it, gave my business card to Harold Ryden. I said, dude, that was awesome. You freaking personal. And dude, so you take over. Then what happened? How did we get here?
So it was about 2 or 3 days later, I got home.
No, it was 24 hours later.
Was it 24?
You
Okay.
called me Sunday night.
Okay. I got home, I went on this realediting.com, and I'm checking out videos of Gary dressed up like Santa Claus, and he's doing videos of his family, and just making all these different videos. And 3-4 years prior to that, I always had this vision of taking arm wrestling and editing it, so like music and doing stuff like that, to kind of make it more appealing to people who
You had that vision?
care less. Yeah, like could care less. So I called Gary Roberts that night, and I said, dude, what you do is amazing. And the first thing he said to me was, I just got home, man. Give me some time to put this arm wrestling video together. I said, that's not why I'm even calling.
Yeah,
I just wanted to call to say I enjoy your work. The videos are cool and blah, blah, blah.
He did.
That's how it happened.
I thought you were calling to ask where the video was. You were the very first Arm TV customer complaining, where's my video?
I wasn't complaining, I was just giving you props.
No, but you called to say, hey, cool videos.
That's right.
Then, you want to know, what do you say next? Let's see if you know your Arm TV trivia. Don't give it away.
TV trivia.
What did he say next?
What did Harold say next?
Yes.
Come to this next tournament and film.
No. Let's educate. Let's educate Arm TV Nation. Okay, well, the very next thing was I said, hey, I'm about to upload a video. Call me back in 20 minutes. Let me get this thing up. Then he refreshed. He watched his video. And the first thing he said was, do you know what you said?
I invited you to a practice.
No. The very first thing that he said after he watched his video, nobody does this. I said, what do you mean? He said, nobody puts arm wrestling videos on the internet. I said, no. He said, it's a worldwide sport and nobody is doing this right here.
I remember hoping I had a picture of myself from a tournament on the internet.
Yeah, he said, go look. He sent me, the first website he sent me to was SwedishArmWrestling.com. He said, this is the best website right now, and there's only pictures. And he said, look, there's California State pictures up, but it's just pictures. And I was excited because I saw a picture of myself. You showed me a picture and you said, look, there you are in the back. And I was like, whoa, that was freaking awesome, right? That's how it happened.
Yeah.
Then he invited me to a practice. He said, well, hey, Saturday people are coming over to my house. And then I went over, I met Jeremy Plaster, Alan Fisher, and I thought he was John Brzezinski. I thought he was like when I saw him beat that MMA guy, I said, oh my God, he's like the best ever.
I got a story I'm going to add to this that even Gary Roberts doesn't know.
What?
After this guy left my house, my wife goes, that guy is pretty friendly, Harold. He might be gay.
No. What?
True story.
I believe it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Because there was this mystery wife, mystery kid that he always talked about. I'd never met him.
Well, I only known you a couple days, right? I mean, that was literally 1 week from the time we were here to over at your house. And then that's when I brought over the video, and then Jeremy Plaster said, dude, I go to tournaments and they charge me $20 for a crappy VHS tape, no editing. It's not even the whole tournament. He said, I'd pay you to come film my tournament. And at that time, I thought, no freaking way. That's like, if you said right now, Gary, you should run for president of the United States. That's how far I disconnected from that ever being a possibility. So then what really broke the ice is then you called me up, I don't know, a month later or something, you invited me to the Avi. But like on a Thursday night or Friday night, he didn't give me much time. He called me up and said, hey, you want to go to this tournament? When? Well, we're like leaving soon. So that was it. And then the next thing, that's when I met John Brzezinski, Leonard Denise.
The real John
Had my
Brzezinski.
first, the real John Brzezinski. That's when I realized that he was just really amateur.
No. Actually, it wasn't then. Because I cleaned house at that tournament. It was when he went to the World Championships in Canada. He called me and said, dude, I used to think you were good. You're just average.
No. Here's what happened. That was just kidding. What I experienced that first car ride was, okay, I was in the back seat, Melanie Harold in the front seat, and I heard him. I was like, wow, this was a true professional arm wrestler. Like that. He's talking about, you know, getting his mind right and trying to make sure he makes weight, and he's calculating what he's got to win and how much he's looking to win. And I saw a very stressed out athlete, like, and then we got to the tournament and he's outside, you know, pacing around and getting ready, and I was like, oh, this is intense. This is really crazy excitement. Even before the tournament, I saw how intense it could get. And then what really got me going was when we beat that one guy in the strap. The one guy came out with a bunch of attitude, and you just ripped him over. I'm like, yeah, this is badass.
The same guy that took a swing at me?
Yeah, I said, you know what? There's something to this sport. I don't know, maybe there's a future here. That's when I started thinking a little bit. So anyways, Harold, on TV, just a friendly reminder, if you didn't know the story,
there it is.
We're here because Harold made a phone
Sorry, guys.
call.
I'm sorry to all people who have been embarrassed. And we love this guy.
You made a phone call.
He's like our Buddha. He's our Buddha.
Hey, it's a little small. It's a little small. So, Arm TV Nation, in case you forgot, a phone call, an announcement on the stage, scrawny dude flashing the MMA guy,
beating Joe Stevenson,
and then a phone call changed history for the rest of our lives.